Philip Pegler reads an extract from his new book, Quiet Courage of the Inner Light.
There is nothing strange about stress, aggression, or fear. These, most normal of human responses, belong to the basic survival mechanism of fight and flight, while stemming also from a stark, innate awareness of our inevitable mortality. For everyone is born only to die sooner or later. Yet, when our normal fears are made much worse for whatever reason, with additional anxiety leading to panic, the resulting tension can become unbearable, putting a blight upon our entire existence. Coping with unexpected trauma or life-threatening diagnosis are obvious examples of this terrible kind of suffering that people so frequently need to endure. Nobody is spared the prospect of an ordeal of this nature at some point in their life, especially nearing its close. Yet for someone of faith, there is always the solace of prayer to fall back on. At least then they can try to pray that somehow a path may be shown through the present darkness, a way found through an ordeal that appears little short of agonizing. It may not be at all easy, but if you pray to God like that, and with all the strength at your disposal, the true inner light will most certainly come to you. You will not be left without succor in your hour of greatest need. In the most critical situations, when we are at our wits' end, it becomes even more urgent for us to attempt to put fear firmly but kindly back in its proper place in any way we can. Apart from turning to heartfelt prayer, we may do this most effectively by stepping back to observe the movement of acute anxiety within us. After all, we could not become aware of fear at all if we were identical with it. We certainly could not enfold the nagging sense of worry, let alone embrace the most terrible feeling of dread with loving kindness, if we were not essentially different from it. Thoughts and feelings constantly come and go in us. Fear is like a particularly unwelcome visitor, but if we simply watch it without getting involved in interminable argument, that most unpleasant of emotions will go on its way after a while and leave us well alone. The same also holds good for other negative emotions that may hold sway over us. Society, in accordance with long-held convention, tends to encourage us to think of our individuality as something solid and fixed. But a little meditation quickly shows us that our inner life is always shifting in endless movement, just as the whole of life is caught up in the flux of change. In the fleeting moments that make up our experience of reality, there is nothing permanent about us at all. The assumption that each individual is a fixed person is a stubbornly held but illusory view that tends to cause great and unnecessary suffering. This is because it makes us feel isolated and disempowered, incapable of releasing our stubborn opinions or of entering into proper dialogue with others with whom we share our essential humanity. A helpful illustration is sometimes used to advantage in Indian spirituality. It likens individual people to separate waves composed of nothing else but water that belongs to the wider ocean. In just the same manner as this, the timeless reality of the universe penetrates time-bound matter. Time and eternity thus combine in our dual human nature, but there is no contradiction in that. We truly belong to what is universal, while continuing to lead our personal and apparently separate lives as normal.